Howdy, Possum Patty here, and it's time to journal, so come on along. There's a few things I want to put in my journal. One is I put out some suet for the birds. I start feeding them in the fall. And the very first bird that showed up at my bird feeder was the hairy woodpecker. Now this picture is from the Audubon Society Field Guide to North American Birds, Eastern Region. And I don't really like a lot of the pictures in this book. Some are okay, but to me some of them are not very clear. So I'm using this to cut up and do nature journaling with. So this is the first bird that came, the hairy woodpecker. And it was a male, and I know it was a male because it had a little red spot on the back of his head. So I just want to make a very simple page and write down that that was the first bird that showed up. The second thing is I bought this ribbon at Michael's. It was in the fall sale. These were $9.99, and there was a whole rack of them, and they were $3.33, I think. So I thought that was a really good deal. I don't need any ribbon, do I? No, I don't. But I can't pass up a sunflower, can I? And in the little box of pictures that I'm using, the random pictures that I'm using to put in my journal, there was this picture of a sunflower and my sister with a little skinny sunflower. Now this is probably the skinniest sunflower I've ever seen, with a broken arm, and I don't remember how she broke her arm, so I just texted her, and she hasn't gotten back to me because I want to remember how she did that. But this is in her backyard, and I know for a fact, because I lived on the farm and I raised sunflowers, thousands of them, that it's that skinny because it wasn't getting enough sunlight. Her backyard had a lot of big trees. But that's neither here nor there, so I'm just going to, this is an excuse to use my ribbon. Because before I put away my fall things, I want to use some of this ribbon. And I might just do a simple page with a piece of ribbon on it. Oops, move the camera and everything. And make a card and put her pictures in there, and then when she tells me how she broke her arm, maybe I'll add that story after. So this is going to be very simple, and I think the other page, I love this. Isn't this beautiful with these poppies? This is from the Haberdashery Paper Studio collection. It's very heavy craft, some glitter, some glossy foil. Very heavy. And it's very, very pretty paper. And I might just do a little tiny page here. I don't know, maybe this page is too small. I could put this over here. And actually I can use part of this over here, can't I? Yeah, I think that would go. All right, so this is going to be double spread. I'm going to use this page on both of these, and I'll use the part up here. I'll make a journaling card, and I'll make something with the photos, put in a little tuck here, and somehow I get my bird in there. And we'll get it all worked out. Okay, this shouldn't take too long. The first thing I have to do is mark this. This is a bag from the Dollar Tree, but we're going to cover that up. And I'm just going to mark this. In Pennsylvania, had a little farm, a breezy corner, and I got the nickname the Sunflower Lady because I I was teaching, but in the summertime I wasn't working, so I grew a lot of sunflowers. I used to make little bouquets with some zinnias and different flowers. And I actually only sold them for $1. Sold them for $1. Small ones, you know. Big bouquets are like $5, but just a small handful of flowers. $1, nothing fancy. But a lot of people would stop and, isn't that pretty? Get the flowers, leave $1 in the jar. Okay, that's gonna go there. And this page is a little smaller. So now I gotta cut this one down. To here. It's a lot of hard work. I used to plant thousands of sunflowers. And across the street was an apple orchard. And sometimes the deer, and behind the farm was woods, not like 40 acres of woods or something. And a lot of deer lived back there. And they would cut through the farm to go over to the apple orchard. And on the way, they would bite off the top of the sunflowers. Boom, boom, boom. Eat the buds. Oh my gosh. They ruined hundreds of sunflowers that way. That was pretty upsetting. Alright, I'm just going to glue these down and I'll be right back. Okay, I had to stand the glue on its head because it's almost empty and it's taking forever to come out. This is wired ribbon and I usually take out the wires. I might leave in that side though. So while I'm waiting for the glue, like that ketchup commercial Anticipation, I may go over to the sewing machine and just sew this down. Oh, that was Mr. Possum sneezing. Did you hear that? Sew this down, and by then my glue should be ready to glue, and I will just glue it down. Okay, I've got these two backgrounds glued down. And I didn't think about how I'm going to put the picture on here, so I may do a little bit of a tuck and a three-dimensional flower. And that's going to mean taking another piece and cutting it and gluing part of it down like a tuck and part of it raising it up like a flower. So I don't know, it's hard to explain, so let me just start by cutting this. I'm probably out of frame here because this is a very big piece of paper. But my sister just got back to me and she said that the picture was taken after 6th grade, before she went to 7th grade, and she fell off her bicycle and broke her arm. So this piece is just going to get glued down here like a tuck, like that. Where's my bird picture? Okay, the bird picture is going to go in here. I can trim that down a little bit. I'll probably put it on the background of something. Do some journaling. So let me show you what I mean here. And so So she said she was very proud because she planted that sunflower. And you can tell in the picture she's proud of it, the way she's holding it for the picture. Okay, that's just going to get glued down like that. And made a big mess here, didn't I? I usually use the Fabri-Tac to glue down pockets. And I put too much. Okay. Now I'm going to cut out the other flower. Okay, I'm going to take my Sakura black glaze pen and go around the edge a little bit because I kind of cut off some of those heavy black lines and I want to put them back in. And this is like a very shiny three-dimensional ink, which is fantastic because that's kind of like what's already on the flower. So I'm just going to kind of emphasize that a little bit. See, it looks shiny now, but even when it dries, it stays shiny. You have to give it a second to dry, though. Don't put your finger in it right away, like I would tend to do. So if you don't have this kind of emphasis on what you're putting down and you want it, you can add it with this pen because it writes on almost everything. I use a lot of it. It's not very expensive. The price of most art pens, like $3 and change, or you can get a couple of them in a pack together. You can even go over some of these dots here in the center. Make them raised up even more. This one's almost empty, but I have more. Okay, I'm going to let that dry for a second. And I'm going to go find my foam tape. I was using that on my museum page to do my little interactive slider. Okay, I'm just going to take this foam tape and put it on the back of this flower. And this will raise it up. Make it two-dimensional. And it looks like this roll is almost done. That that means I better get to the Dollar Tree and get some more. Okay, then you gotta peel this off. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now I gotta get it in the right place, which should be, stand up, see what I'm doing. There. Nice. Oh, I like that. Gives it a little bit dimension, raises it up off the page a little bit. You see some of the glue I got in there. Oh, you know what I could do? I could put some of the pen in there where I cut off that line. Like that. And that'll work. I almost want to do this bird too, but that means I have to cut up another page. And I don't know if I have another page of this. Okay, I'll look for that in a minute. In the meantime, I'm trying to make a tag out of the bird. And I can journal on the back. So the flower that was cut off up here, that's what I made a tag out of, because I love these little poppy seed cases. Seed cases, yeah. Little poppy seed cases. And I'm thinking about punching a hole and putting a little piece of yarn on there or something. Coming up or coming down, maybe. Maybe going down for a change. And I can add something to that. And then I have to, okay, where'd those little pictures go? Cat's knocking on the door. They wanted to get out. Now they want to get in. Okay, these have to go on something so I can slip it in that pocket. She's going to knock the door down. Let me let her in. I made the bird three-dimensional too. I had to cut up another sheet of this paper just for the bird, but I still got a lot of nice paper here. And what am I saving it for anyway? You know, the zombie apocalypse might start tomorrow. Although that might be fun to journal about, wouldn't it? Okay, I'm just going to take some of this yarn, it's fuzzy yarn, and put a few pieces through this hole. It's sort of brown, but I think it's more olive green. And a little bit of teal there. Add a little color to the page. How many can I get through there? Maybe 3. Let's see. Now that's kind of fuzzy. That's kind of fuzzy-wuzzy. Let's see if I could do it this way. So I don't have to tie it. I can just slip it through like that. Yeah, I like that better. I like that better. Okay, this is going to go in. Whoops. There's a little bit of a haircut. Okay, that's going to go in there. And that's going to hang down. And I'm going to do my journaling right there. And then, what? Oh, I've got these two pictures that have to go in here. So I'm probably going to make a card for these. On this tag, while I sewed around the edge, I think I'm going to do something a little bit different on this one. I'm in the mood for a doodle. And I love black and white on craft paper. So I just may do a little bit of faux stitching around the edge. Using my black glaze pen. Doesn't have to be straight. Doesn't have to be perfect. My sister showed this picture to her son, and he's told her that she looks skinny. And she does look skinny. Thinking about adding a little white also. I like that. I like it, I like it, I like it. I'm going to take my white Uniball and try not to ruin it, but gotta get it to right. There we go. I might put some white dots just for fun. Don't be afraid to doodle. Might put one up here. Okay, I'm going to give that a second to dry, and then I'm going to flip it over and do the same on the other side. And there's the other side. And I did go over the letters with the black glaze pen to make them a little bit more dimensional and shiny. So this is Kathy's sunflower. And this is Kathy the summer after 6th grade when she fell off the bike and broke her hand, her arm. The people are asking me, what do you do if you don't sew, or I don't have a sewing machine? So here you go. Glue it down and draw in the stitches. That's all you have to do. I wonder if this is dry. Almost, sort of. And that is just going to go in right there, or I can put the sunflower side there, like that. And that is it. And that is today's spread. Just a couple of, well, this is a memory page. And this is a nature journaling page, the way that Possum Patty nature journals. So I just want to wish everybody happy nature journaling, happy memory keeping, happy junk journaling, and thanks for coming along today. Bye-bye.